Hello folks, Brian Manzella here in my office in New Orleans with a simplified version of not just the D-plane, but the bottom vector of the D-plane. So the D-plane has two vectors. This bottom vector, which is the resultant path, which we're going to talk about, and the top vector, which is simply the club face normal, like a lie angle tool. You know, the lines can be perpendicular to the target, but if the face is tilted, one way or the other, it affects the club face normal. And if you de-loft it, the club face normal goes down. If you add loft, it goes up. Top vector is easy. The bottom vector is not something anybody had their heads wrapped around on how much it actually changes ball flight. Okay, so in this little experiment right here, these three objects holding golf balls, we got Diet Mountain Dew holding this Callaway, we got my top 100 award holding this Strixon 1, and we got the dust cleaner right here holding Strixon 2. Got my trusty little Ping G2 3-iron. I'm going to try to get as much as I can on some kind of 45-degree angle. Now remember that the 45-degree angle, let's say the vertical swing plane or swing plane in the new TrackMan software, is not the angle of the shaft, but just for simplicity's sake. And we're also going to say that somehow I managed the club face normal on all three of these contacts to be right at the target. Okay, so here goes one swing. Now, also help me out here in imagining that on top of these three components where Sling Box is, we've got TrackMan, and then a hole in the wall right here, we went and got the #1 line drawer in the world to set up a perfect angle camera, which I don't know if it exists, but we're going to do our best. So here we go. Here's the 45-degree angle, and here's my swing. Whap, whap, whap. Okay, so here's what we had. When we look back at the video, I had just one swing, and I drew, if you drew that line, I painted that line the whole time. I had a straight swing. I had one single plane line. That's what the golf machine called it, or horizontal swing plane in the older versions of the TrackMan software, or swing direction. So with one swing direction, on this case, a 45-degree angle, I had three wildly different resultant paths, and even though the club face was square in all three of them magically, three wildly different shots that look pretty much the same back there on video. So what would we have? Well, this one, let's say, was 10 degrees down and 45 degrees out, which on a 45-degree angle is 1-to-1 relationship. So that's a 55-degree inside out and down resultant path. This one, let's say, was level and straight. This one was 45 degrees left, but 10 degrees up, making it 55 degrees. So look at those D-planes. Square and down and out, big low hook, pretty level and at the target, nice straight ball, way up in the air and at the target, crazy high slice. So the resultant path is something that's been known about. It was talked about in a couple of books, but its influence on ball flight, in this case the D-plane, which is the science of ball flight as we know it, that is very important and something that wasn't quite understood by a lot of golfers. You have to be able to catch the ball at the right point in a certain swing direction. So if for some reason you want to hit a straight ball way over here in your swing, you just have to take the whole darn shooting match out to the right until that 45-degree hit was on line, or similar, this 45-degree hit, turn it left enough and you could hit 10 degrees down and hit a straight ball. This is something that was not known by anybody. It was never talked about, and good players now and good teachers for years and years and years knew how far left you had to swing. They just didn't really understand to hit a straight ball, but they really just didn't understand how the angle of attack affected it, and it affects it greatly. Hope this made it a little bit simpler than the long video, but the long video served its purpose too. Thank you very much. I appreciate you listening to what I have to say.